It is a little bit interesting right now. I have a day off several days off in Lexington due to my bicycle problems. I have been running in earlier. By now my bicycle is up and running. I'm pretty excited about it. Got totally overhauled. The other part which is, I think, hitting me a lot is realizing how differently my life is in New York than here, which sounds obvious. At the same time, intellectually understood that we won't find a lot of good food, that we will run into a lot of chain stores, the dollar store, Walmart, and that the bread will be nice and fluffy and I can probably take it and squeeze it and it just collapses in itself because it's more air than nutrients, and if not, refined sugar and with air combined, but not really anything which you would call multigrain or whole wheat or anything which is actually has much nutritional value to itself. And I mean, the whole entire group tries to cook as good as we can. I mean, we just with what we have, it's not like we can carry tons of extra spices that would make our bags very heavy. And we go shopping before we go to the campground, and then two designated people will cook that night. And on times we are left to the devices, our own devices, having to use instant rice, canned beans, which would still be very good if we could have canned beans, and frozen vegetables, because sometimes there are not even fresh vegetables, which it's sort of shocking to me. And then in the morning we have instant oatmeal if we can't find rolled oats. If we are lucky, we find some fruits we can put into it. We carry a little bit of brown sugar, a little bit of cinnamon, and then we make our lunches. And our lunches are normally that crap bread with Jiffy's peanut butter, which I don't know is probably more sugar than peanut butter, and some Oreos, which I can't stand Oreos. And again, if we're lucky, we have bananas and apples until we hit the evening. On times when we go through a little bit bigger towns, I can find a restaurant where I can get some additional food. And on some of the bad days, there isn't. There's just food. I don't really can digest well this fluffy bread. I mean, I'm still hungry and my stomach just doesn't like the GMOs in it. That's what I'm assuming. And I end up just having those, not even granola bars, because we can't get really good granola bars here. We get the ones you can get in the store with the oats, but if you look at the carb content, it's extremely low. It's high protein, low carbs, because that's what everybody does right now. And I have banana, fruit. I put now juice in my water, so I have at least additional carbs via that intake to arrive at more instant food. I think what has been interesting for me is now with this overlay in Lexington is I'm visiting a very good friend of mine, staying at her place, and she's doing some really good home-cooked meals, which is probably sort of how I live anyway at home, with a lot of good home-cooked meals. And I just feel like I'm in paradise, it's like pork roast or fish, fresh pasta, fresh vegetables, and a lot of whole foods. They have your Whole Foods and Trader Joe's in Lexington, so the selection is pretty decent, or pretty good. And I feel like, I'm finally alive again. This is but I like to eat. And the struggle is really of realizing that what I'm facing is my own limitation of adaptation. I mean, certainly I eat the instant rice, I eat the beans and the oatmeals and what we have, because that's all we have. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, the next time I'm gonna do this is not gonna happen. I'm gonna pay, I don't know what will be the difference about a place where I can have really nice food. And this whole time, Middle America with crab food, this is definitely not me. And it's the hardest thing for me to accept right now. And it's also not trying to, I am judgmental about it. I go into the supermarket and just look at that, what the hell are people eating here? And I'm appalled that there is no whole grains. I'm appalled that people don't have access to better quality food. I mean, I look at it and it's really just sheer sugar or repackaged sugar. And I always think that good nutrition is a basic right, and unfortunately it's not. Oh, it's a basic right, but unfortunately people don't get the basic rights. I mean, dollar store. I mean, I remember I was in dollar stores where I was in Missouri in college. That's only the food which is close to expiration date. I don't want to look into the quality of it, but I cooked one day with $1 store meat. I opened it and I'm like, this is an interesting smell. I normally would have tossed it. Instead, I cooked it. It's it's definitely different, and I hate to be a snob about it, but it's tough on me of accepting that.